Well then, who's the greatest people?
There is no greatest people, Paul Joseph. It's not about being superior or inferior. We're all just different. And sure, I prefer my people. But doesn't everybody?
Ha! Oh, Murdoch, you're not thinking straight, are you? I know what you need. You need some brain force.
What seems odd is that there is a summit taking place in Alaska right now. High stakes. That's according to CNN. High stakes. So I'm like, why would they have a summit in Alaska, right? And my theory is, it was so Sarah Palin could see you when you're arriving from her porch. I think that's it. Why do you think they did in Alaska?
Well, it's a great TV program. It's like you get to meet at the tippy, the bear. What is it called? The Bering Strait. Yeah. I mean, he's doing everything for TV. You got to view it in that context. Is everything is going to be a nice show. You got to go to a nice setting, a milieu, as they say. Yeah.
So here's what Scott. Why am I blanking on Scott's last name? Scott Ritter, friend of the show, Scott Ritter. Thank you.
You were welcome.
She has to make like 3 moves so she could talk. She has to like push the thing. She has to take it. She has to take it around, and she has to turn around. So that kind of takes away the convenience of a headset. She's turned it into an inconvenience. Like, hey, look, we have our new inconvenient headsets. So here's what Scott Ritter said about. Here's what he thinks is going to happen. Because Trump has no cards to play. That's the thing. Trump has tried to play his cards. Trump has tried to economically, just Biden, the United States, Biden and Trump have tried to economically sanction Russia into subservience, and it ain't working. Russia is stronger than ever economically. Their dollar is worth more than it was before the war started. This has been a disaster. So now they're just selling more oil and stuff to places like China, and it's just not good. Trump has no cards to play. He has no hand, as George Costanza would say. He has no hand. And so Scott Ritter is going to tell you what's actually going to happen. As we predicted, since the day this war started, at the show, we predicted that this war is going to end however Vladimir Putin wants it to end. And that's what kind of Scott Ritter says here.
So what you're basically saying is that it's up to Donald Trump to come up with some way to save Ukraine. Yes. It's not about Russia. This is about saving Ukraine. If they can't come up with, I mean, Vladimir Putin seemed to say, I heard him say there a little while ago, do this and we'll stop. I think we'll have a ceasefire the next day.
Vladimir Putin, again, he's the Russian president. I can't speak for him, but my guess is that he is going to give Donald Trump the ground truth. And he's going to say, look, Mr. President, this is the reality here. I don't know what your people are telling you. The thing about 20,000 dead is just bonkers. Right, yeah. The reality is we're winning. We're winning decisively. Yep. Every day our advantages accrue greater. I'm willing just to keep this war going as long as necessary if our conditions are met. I would like this war to end. I know you want this war to end. Okay, but you have to respect Russian reality. This is Mother Russia. We're not stopping until we get this. And if they don't allow that and we have to keep fighting, then we will. If you want to stop the war, get Zelensky to agree to these territories being Russian. They will never join NATO. And then notice what he said. Once the ceasefire happens, then there's other conditions. The war doesn't end. He said then there has to be denazification, demilitarization, and changes in government, et cetera. But that's not a condition for a ceasefire. For a ceasefire, as you rightly pointed out, there's 2 conditions. Mother Russia is Mother Russia, and you can't be part of NATO.
That's it. We'll work from there.
Yeah.
And that was on the Rick Sanchez show, which I was just on last week. Rick Sanchez, great broadcaster, doing good. He's got good pipes. So how does Donald Trump get Zelensky to agree? That's the question. I say he has Zelensky fake his death and then send him to San Juan with a new name, Jorge Gonzalez. He still does cocaine, but now he sells it. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I think he sells it too currently.
So here is Mersheimer saying basically the same thing. Oh, hang on, what happened?
The Russians have seen this kind of behavior, as we have, over and over. There's nothing surprising here. And what the Russians, I am sure, understand is you're not going to get a meaningful agreement on Friday. You're not going to get a meaningful agreement the next Friday or the Friday after that. And this one is going to be settled on the battlefield. And what you want to do, if you're the Russians, is that you want to go to great lengths to present yourself to the rest of the world and to President Trump as a reasonable statesman. And you want to be willing to talk to Trump if he wants to talk to you. But there's no hope here that you're going to get a meaningful agreement. The best that could happen is that Trump would agree to Russian demands, and he would tell the Europeans and the Ukrainians, you can either accept Russian demands or not. But if you don't accept them, I'm out of here. And it's up to you to negotiate and deal with the Russians. But he's not going to do that, in large part because he's surrounded, Trump is, by advisors who won't allow him to do that. Keith Kellogg and Marco Rubio and others will whisper in his ear.
Lindsey Graham among those.
Yeah, he listens to all those people.
And so so the war's not ending, which is great news for my comedy special because I have a lot of Ukraine war material in there, but it's bad news for the people of Ukraine. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Do people think that Ukraine's winning for real when they have just signed a thing to, quote, allow 60-year-olds to join?
Yeah, they just...
By allow, I mean stuff them in a van.
So here's a headline from a French newspaper that Russia makes biggest 24-hour advance in eastern Ukraine ahead of the Alaska summit. The Russian army this week made its biggest 24-hour advancement into Ukraine in over a year, just days ahead of a meeting between Trump and Putin. The Russian army took or claimed 110 square kilometers, that's 42.5 square miles, on August 12th, compared to the previous day, according to AFP analysts and battlefield data from the Institute for the Study of War. It was the biggest advance since late May. So in recent months, Moscow has typically taken 5 or 6 days to progress at such a pace. Although Russian advances have accelerated in recent weeks, Russian forces on the ground in Ukraine have been closing in on a key territorial grab around the city of Pokrovsk in the eastern Donbass region, which is part of Ukraine's industrial heartland that Putin has long coveted. So that's what's actually happening. But the Ukrainian press, which, remember, is Zelensky got rid of all the actual press, and now they just have basically state puppets, right, that acting as press inside Ukraine. He got rid of all the independent journalists, got rid of anybody who was adversarial towards him. It's kind of the thing they say Putin does, but they did it in Ukraine. Anyway, it's weird. And so...
Right.
Okay. And so why is that up there? I don't know. Okay, so if you see what Ukrainian newspapers are saying, Ukrainian military deny Russian breakthrough near they deny that this is happening. It's not happening. And Wyatt Reed sarcastically tweets out, he says, turns out Russia's advance actually consists of a small group of 5 to 10 Russians, because that's what they say, who tried to hide in one basement somewhere. Ignore all the news reports about the impending collapse. It's fake. And posts from UKR officers begging for backup on Telegram. It's military deception. So, because that's what they're trying to say. That's what Ukrainian government, that's what their newspapers are saying. No, it was just 5 or 10 Russians in a basement. They didn't take over. We battle, but okay.
Wait, I'll say this for Israel. All the lies about what they're doing are in our press, but they tell their own people the truth about what's happening for some reason, but not us.
Yeah.
We get lies.
Yeah.
But if you live in Israel, read their press, they're remarkably forthcoming. This is unbelievable.
This want to hear what they said? This is what they said. They said, we need to understand that these are small groups of several people. Their presence is recorded. And that's why it seems on open source maps that, oh my God, the Russians have moved 12 kilometers deep into Ukrainian territory. But you have to understand that it's not about taking control of this territory. We are talking about a small group of Russians, about 5 to 10 people who got there. And this is absolutely not what it looks like on the map. It's not like they took control of the entire route they covered. No, they made their way and tried to hide in a basement somewhere. Of course, reserves were sent there to knock them out and kill them.
You sent your best 60-year-olds after
them? Yeah, right? Did you grab
squad?
You grab some teenagers off a street corner, throw them in a van, send them, hey, you got to go get these 5 or 10 guys in a basement?
But not the Nazi ones. They're hanging out soccer games in Kiev for some reason, not on the front lines.
That's right. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I was reached out to like 6 or 8 months ago by a Ukrainian media company called United 24, and I did a background dig on them. They get their funding from the Bank of Ukraine, and they were telling me, hey, by the way, we can give you exclusive access to behind the scenes things and how the battles are going and all this stuff if you want to make videos for us. And I just said, no, thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's common. That's quite common for people to send those things around. I've seen like Joe.
But then the funding is from the Bank of Ukraine.
Yeah, which where do you think they get their money from? They get their money from the State Department, the United States. Yeah.
From stolen Nazi treasure, probably.
Yeah.
So that's when they say it's not going abroad; it's coming back to Americans.
Yeah. Nobody's ever reached out to me like that.
Really?
They've done videos about me being a misinformer, spreading misinformation, and a conspiracy theorist.
You had your chance with Bohemian Grove.
What's that? With the Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove reached out, and what did you do? You told them the Nixon quote, and they didn't think it was funny, even though I think it's very funny.
So, they've never reached out to me. Nobody's ever. The Vox in Ukraine did a story about how I'm a conspiracy theorist spreading lies about Ukraine. That's what they did, and they put me on. Then remember, they put me on the kill list.
Oh, that's right. The Ukrainian kill list.
I'm on the Ukrainian kill list. So you get
Roger Waters.
You get a totally different treatment, James, than I do. That's
that was when they were trying. Hey, we don't. This is up and coming guy. Let's see if we can co-opt this guy.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
I wasn't an up and comer. I already up and came.
You are.
Yeah. I went.
Yeah.
I'm a down in winter.
Okay. And if you'd like to hear some more of my up and came jokes, you can see me in Rutherford, New Jersey, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Chicago, Appleton, Wisconsin, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Over to Steph.
Thank you. All right. So what do the Jimmy Dore Show and my psychiatrist have in common? Both are 20 minutes late. Oh, Hillary Hinton. Whoa. Loved your show in Minneapolis. The Greater Israel Project looks bad. Do you know the true great Jewish dilemma? No. Free ham. Free ham. All right. And that's from the Blue Dotsy. Thank you, Blue Dotsy. The only
I don't know
crime,
if that's as much a dilemma as you think it is.
The only crime the sandwich chucker committed was throwing a BLT that didn't actually have any lettuce on it. That's true. Thank you for that.
Let us entertain you. And speaking of lettuce, how about you let us entertain you in Rutherford, New Jersey, Calgary, Edmonton? No, it's back of.
He didn't see if there was lettuce. That's pure speculation. I think Michael Tracy did. That is wild speculation.
He would have gotten a beat down if he threw a burrito instead of a sandwich.
Well, good thing he didn't throw a burrito. He just threw a nice white guy submarine sandwich.
A nice wrap sandwich, not an explosive burrito.
Why would you throw your sandwich away?
He probably is like
because fascism is here.
Because fascism. You've got to fight with whatever you have. You've got to fight fascism with whatever you have. And if it is a turkey on plain bread, then that is what I will use.
He had to bash the fash with his sandwich.
I am fighting fascism with extra cheese and no onion.
All right, here we go. Ever wonder why the number 15, 33, 38, and 128 always seem to be around world events that get a ton of airtime? Things that make you go, the real D. Schneidi?
No, I know why. The 33 especially, that's what that shooting.
I didn't know
It was
that.
one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
That was for the real. Sorry. He
when I say 33, hit a gong. It doesn't mean anything. Don't pay attention.
15, 33, 38, and 128?
I don't know. It's some Freemason nonsense. But the guy that went into the wrong floor, which was the 33rd floor, one of the funniest news screens I've ever seen somebody captured, where it listed like the guy's 33 and he went to the 33rd floor and then at the very bottom it goes, conspiracies around the number 33 surface. I'm like, after they listed 33 20 times. It was like if you were in Russia, you'd be arrested right now to that German guy getting arrested. It was that level.
So
back to Jimmy.